Okay, so we have the fuselage top glued here. Our next step would be to glue in the tail surfaces, the horizontal stabilizer and the vertical stabilizer and the rudder fin to the fuselage. So these are critical steps, and these will permanently affect the flight characteristics. So take time to make sure these are properly installed, double check before adding glue, because these will really determine how good your model flies later on. So we will slide in the tail fin here, and the way to check this here is that we are giving a pin and a thread. The pin has to be mounted in the midpoint of the fuselage. So we are going to mount the pin here in this absolutely center point, and tie the thread here to the pin. And as shown in the manual, we are going to measure each end of the horizontal stabilizer to make sure these are same. So as we can see here, these are not the same right now. So we are going to tie it securely, and we are going to measure this side and this side. These sides should be absolutely the same. So slightly modify, slightly align it so that these edges match, and then we will add glue. One more thing we need to do before doing this is put in the vertical stabilizer, because the vertical stabilizer goes through the horizontal stabilizer and it has to lock in through the central notch. So we will just do this and get back in a minute. So all this we are doing without touching any glue. Glue should not be used here until everything is really aligned and proper. So the rudder goes till on the other side of the fuse. The whole rudder locks in through the horizontal stabilizer and the fuselage bottom. Now so the rudder can move, the horizontal stabilizer can move a little bit. We are going to measure it with the pin and thread to make sure these ends are exactly the same. So this will now it is exactly the same, this part and this part. So now when satisfied, just flow a few drops without moving anything here. Just put in a few drops. The glue will flow through the joint and on this side. Okay, and likewise we will invert the whole thing and put glue on the other side. Just a drop is enough. Anything extra usually wicks. And now we'll also glue the rudder fin, vertical fin, by flowing in a few drops of CA from the top. Just put in a few drops on the top and it will flow, the glue will flow in till the bottom. Okay, so we are gluing in the horizontal and the vertical stabilizer here, wicking in a little bit of glue. Again, be sure to check everything several times before adding glue, because these things cannot be changed later on, and they largely determine how good your model flies. So be sure to check again with the pin and thread to make sure these edges are exactly the same. Like you can see here, this is this point and this is this point, exactly the same. So this is perfectly aligned. The rudder goes through this horizontal stabilizer to the other side, glued in, and glue has been flowed on all sides, on all the mating joints. And I think this largely completes our fuselage build. Couple of other things we'll add before we move to the wings. Next we are going to install the skids here. The skids have a front side and a back side. This goes towards the back, this goes towards the front. The two skids go in perfectly through the fuselage bottom. So put in the skids here. And as before, we will flow in some glue. To secure the skids in place. Glue. So we are going to glue the skids. You can additionally make the skids stronger by filling this seam with some hot glue or adding a zip tie cut, as we'll show you later on, to give it extra strength. The skids actually take in the most thrashing when the plane lands, but it really saves on a lot of damage which usually happens in case landing gears are used. So this is the decal sheet which is supplied. These are the window decals. We will cut out this whole part together. Oh. Carefully cut the decals. The reason why we install the decals before the wing holding rods is that there will be a hole needed to be cut on the decals after it is applied. So this is the window seat decal, and we'll trim from the front edge carefully, and the bottom edge will also be cut scale. Okay, so this is the decal, and we are going to put it on the right side, something like this. So align the first triangle with the windshield carefully. And glue it parallel to the top part of the wing bay. So our decal has been applied here. Now we are going to cut. We are going to cut this hole here for the wing dowel. So if you press this here, you can see the shape come up on the decal. Just cut it with a knife. And there it goes. And we have this done here. Now we will repeat it on the other side and get back, continue with the video in a minute. So our both sides decals of window have been glued and the holes cut here. Now we are going to put in the wing holding mounts carefully through these thread. Rotate these so that it like does not crush or damage the Kuro, and this will come out on the other side. Center it so that it is like centered, and do it again for the back. Just keep on rotating it and aligning it so that it comes out without breaking the fuselage. So here it is. Now if you want, you can add in a few drops of glue, or you can leave it like this. I think this completes the fuselage, which is now ready. Now we'll move on with building the wing, and let's see if we can fly this actually this evening. We are adding some more decals here from the decal sheet. We have just glued the side lightning bolt on the left side, and we'll do it on the right side. And there's a windshield here, and then of course the name on the back side. Use a the sharp knife provided to cut these. If you want, you can snap off the knife edge to get a new sharp section. So let's continue in a minute after the decals are done here.